Hello, this is Dave M. M does not stand for Mosca. Wish it did. Might be a little richer than I am. I just finished up another Mosca. This is an ROMP-5, and I want to get it on eBay and get the video on YouTube so people can see it. This is an ROMP-5 that was manufactured in 2007 with an 800mm by 400mm arch. That is known as a tray size, and 800 is 31.5 and 400 is 15 3/4 tall. This machine will do a large tray, small tray, bucket, just about anything you want to do. It'll strap it. The first thing I do when I do these machines is I take the head completely apart, take all the parts away from the machine, clean the machine inside and out. Then I sand the machine wherever it's got surface rust. Lightly sand the whole thing, but where it's got surface rust, I get it down to the bare metal. Here in Michigan, we get lots of rust on our cars. Shiny epoxy primer, then hardened urethane enamel and matching color over top. I roll it, and I got to the point where my rolling looks pretty good. The only way I could do it any better is to take the machine apart and spray it. I'm not doing that. Too much time. So it's got locking swivel casters on all four corners. They're generic. They're not Mosca. Moscas are pretty expensive. These are, like I said, they're not Mosca. But Moscas are about 50-60 bucks a piece for the swivel, so that's a nice thing. And then also, because they're swivel on all four corners, you can turn the machine a little easier. It's got a new heater. I tried to do that on all my rebuilds because I've had people call me from across the country and say the heater doesn't work, they're not happy, so then I have to send them a heater. So I just put a new heater in them, and it's not cheap. Mosca heaters are about 900 bucks. It's got, I go through the head. And in the head, you've got about 8 bearings, and any of these bearings, when they start to seize up and get crunchy, I call them crunchy, when they start to get worn, it puts extra stress on the motors. So I find that the machines that have bad motors, I usually check the bearings in the various wheels, especially the main camshaft. There's a bearing in there, and if that one gets bad, it kills the shaft motor, and that's an expensive motor. So there's new bearings in the feed pressure roller, the accumulator fill pressure roller, the geared brake arm roller, one big one, an NT124 behind the feed wheel, and then the one on the main camshaft. Not the one inside the motor, those I can't get at, but the one that's on the main camshaft. And I'll take a machine apart that's 2 or 3 million cycles. It'll start to have some wear. You get a machine that's got 6 or 8 million cycles, and it's crunchy. So and they sound different. When I test the machine before I do it, the machine has one sound. After I do all the bearings, it sounds different. It sounds smoother, and I call it a whippy sound, kind of like a brand new Mosca. So that's what convinced me to start doing that. And I use good quality bearings. I use either Nachi or Koyo usually, not generic. Not the Asian bearings. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're cheaper, and they don't last as long. So as I said, it's been completely cleaned, and everything that's worn or broken, all the lights work. There's a soft touch. Anything that's worn or broken has been dealt with. I don't ship them out. I got a new power cord. I don't send them out with anything that needs to be done to them. The track has been inspected. The track is a wear item, and they're expensive. They're not really hard to change, but it's time consuming, especially if you've never done it. This you can tell if you open the track and look at the channel where the strap travels. If it's got any waves or it's bigger in some spots, like on the corners, then it's wearing out. This one has been changed at some point, so it's not the original track, which is good. So track is in great shape. I got it priced at $59.95. That's less than half the price of a new small Fusion. The P5 is more of a premium model because it has a pull-out drawer, a little heavier. But that price includes palletizing for shipping, but not the freight shipping. That's the responsibility of the buyer. One thing that I look at when I do these machines that tells me how nice the machine is are the pads on the accumulator, just the roller dispenser. The plastic pad. Dispenser pieces have pads here, and if those pads are chewed up and worn, I know the machine has a lot of cycles. These machines don't have counters on them, but the pads are in fantastic shape. So this machine maybe 1,000,000 or 2 cycles, but not. I've seen machines with 8, 10 million cycles. This one definitely doesn't have that many. It's ready to go, ready to work. It will strap the standard mail tray, no problem. It's nice big. You got about 6 inches on each side. It'll do little teensy weensy bundles, boxes. And this does that. Now I have in this machine now Mosca's 5040C, which is 5mm embossed, which is the little waffle weave bumps. This machine will also use the 5021C, which is the smooth clear. That one meets all the clarity standards. None of the post offices here in Michigan have any problem with the 5040C. I sell 5040C to all my mailing customers, people that buy it by the pallet, and the machines just seem to can grip the strap better, feeds better. They just seem to be happier with that strap. One thing about these machines is they'll get gunk on the strap track guides. There's metal guides on either side of the slide plate, and people, maintenance guys, will think, well, it's not making it around, it needs more feed pressure. So they'll put more feed pressure to force the strap through the gunk. And that's not a good idea, because what happens is it puts wear on your track. Your strap is pushing around the track harder, and it can break parts under the slide plate. So also, when you put too much feed pressure, excessive feed pressure will keep the machine from auto feeding, because the strap has to shoot up to the feed wheel, and then you have the pressure wheel, and it'll turn a little bit, and if they're pushed too hard together, the strap can't get between them, and then it won't auto feed. I'll go in and I'll see that the feed pressure's maxed out, and I'll say, how long is this machine not auto fed? And they'll say, auto feed, what's that? They don't even know that it will do it. This is what auto feed is. I'm just going to cut the strap, simulating the end of the reel. The machine will strap until it reaches, until that end. There's a little sensor right here, the B7 sensor. And as soon as the strap goes past the B7 sensor and the flag falls down, then the machine knows it's empty, and then it gets rid of the strap. If the B7 sensor is not working, it won't shoot out. That's an indication that you have a problem. That means that your B7 sensor is stuck. The flag, it needs to be cleaned out. So I'll take the strap, put my new reel on, follow the arrows for the direction, put the outside reel on until it snaps shut. You hear it go clunk. And when that happens, then you can cut the new reels of Mosca strap have stretch film on it. You can cut the stretch film and then take it off. Do not take the stretch film off until after you put it on the reel. You will have a spaghetti mess. Make sure that this goes on the inside of the roller. There's a roller and there's an outer metal ring. Make sure you go between those. Don't go outside the ring. Don't go through the door. I've seen everything. The strap goes down the chute until it stops. And what's happening, you got two rollers, the motorized roller and then the pressure roller, and I'm going to separate them so the strap can get in between them. There's a little lever. And I'm just going to go a little bit past it, a couple inches. And I like to get rid of all the loops. I made sure I didn't twist the strap. Make sure that it doesn't, because it has a curve to it. I like to have a big loop. That's a good size loop. The reason is the strap's got to go down into the accumulator and up to the head. And if it doesn't have enough, it won't make it. It won't auto feed. So you just do that. And that whipping sound is success at auto fed, which it requires a little bit of adjustment. If your machine doesn't auto feed like this, if you have them already, P2s you put it through and a little hook comes up and you can actually watch it. P4s and P5s have a threading gate, and if it doesn't auto feed, it just needs an adjustment by somebody who knows what they're doing. Once you've done that, you're all set. Now the soft touch, a lot of people don't know very much about the soft touch. I'll go into my places that I sold like about 6 or 8 of this exact machine to one of my customers, and I'll go in and they're doing mail trays and all the buttons are pushed. Because our logic is, for tension, the light should be on, turning the tension motor on. German logic is opposite. This means that the tension motor is off. So if I do a bundle of flats, the tension motor's off, it won't crunch it up. So I can just do my hand and it just lightly straps my hand. But if I turn that off, see how much harder it bit into my hand a little bit harder. If I had the tension cranked up, it would have hurt. And so for normal buckets and trays and flats, you're going to just turn this off and then turn the tension down to where you want it, 1 or 2. If you're doing trays, if you're doing flats and you want no tension, that's it. If you're doing trays and buckets, like that. I just thought I'd clarify that so that people that have these machines will know that that's supposed to be off. All right, thank you very much.